Beep beep. Well, here we are. Back in the saddle. Oh, feels good. I haven't played any games in a while. So we're back playing. Oh, this is Old Guy Gamer. We're back playing. I don't even know what this game's called. Tourist Bus Simulator. So there's a story about why I'm playing this game. But let's just get into it. I actually have another driving game to play instead of just American Truck Simulator, so I'm really excited to get a chance to use my steering wheel for something other than driving a semi-truck. Simple. Oh, no, I don't want simple, so let's just do that. I've actually been playing this game for a little bit. I started a new game for the video, but I played it earlier for about 2 hours, 3 hours to make sure my settings are all set up. I watched a YouTube video of this game after I decided to buy it, and I was hearing that it is kind of a I don't know if it's a difficult game to set up, but it takes a little bit of time to get your controls set up the way it's just more intuitive. So it takes a little time to set up a steering wheel with this game. So I played for a few hours, messed with the controls, and of course that was a few days ago because I haven't played since then. So let's see if I can remember the controls I set up. I haven't set up every single option, but I did get my steering wheel axis set up. I got my pedals axis set up. I've got some controls. I just got to remember where everything is because it was going pretty smoothly when I first sat down in this game. Well, actually, when I first sat down, it wasn't going smoothly because everything was backwards. Basically, I'm using the WASD keys right now to move around. Forward, back, strafe, right, and left. But let me tell you this: if you're gonna use a steering wheel on this game, you really need to plan some time setting it up because it is kind of difficult getting the fine tune of this thing just perfect. So let's hop in our truck. Unfortunately, I've seen this twice now. So enter vehicle with C. I've seen all of this stuff. This will be my second time seeing it, so I might not be as excited about talking about this first part, but it does seem like a game I'll be able to be interested in for a little bit. If you're watching my channel very much, you know that I don't really finish a lot of games. I just start a lot of games. I don't know how far I'll go into this game. I paid for the regular there we go. I paid for the regular game and I got the one free update. Let's see if I can remember where this is. There it is. I paid for the regular game and I got one free downloadable bus that they're offering, and we'll see where this goes. I'll play it for at least a week or two, give you, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 videos. I'd like to stay with this game a little longer just because I get to actually use my steering wheel, so I'd like to play it quite a bit. But it is different driving a bus, than just a regular car. It's kind of funny. So we'll get into all that in a little bit. I was actually downstate My youngest daughter is a senior in high school. She went to her dance team went to state this year, so we went down to Bloomington Normal for the state competition, and to watch her dance. And as we were walking into the arena, we just saw a bunch of buses, and I had made a remark to my older daughter and my wife. I'm like, "Oh, there's a bus simulator game. I guess there's a bunch of them." I was just pointing out how funny it is that there's a simulator game for pretty much everything. And my older daughter's like, "Oh, you should do that. You should do that for your channel. That would be so funny." And I'm like, "What's funny about that?" It didn't seem funny at all. But here we are playing a bus simulator game. And it's basically just to show my wife and daughter that there is such a game. I actually spent more time choosing this game than I thought I would, because I didn't really know what bus simulator games were out there. I just knew there were some. So I looked at all of the trailers. I watched a couple of videos for each game, and this was the latest release one. And this one had some extra stuff that the other games didn't have. Like, this game has, you can buy an apartment, you can build your apartment or house or decorate it and all that stuff. So you can actually get into this car and drive around it a lot. You'll see in just a second, there's like a little Jeep, a little dune buggy type thing over there, like a sand buggy, whatever you call it. You can build that up, buy parts for it, build it up, drive it around. So there's lots of cool stuff you can do in this game that's more than just driving a bus on a route. Dillick Transportation. I don't know why I'm choosing that name. Dillick Transportation occurred to me when I was practicing this game earlier. It's supposed to be like Dilligaff, if you know what that means, the acronym. But it's like a cleaner version that I think I made up. I don't know if I made it up or not, this Dillick Transportation, but it's like the clean version of Dilligaff. So if you don't know what Dilligaff is, go look it up. This is just the cleaner version. Do I look like I care? So this is our company. I drove here, talking about other things, didn't even talk about the game itself. We'll get more into the graphics and stuff like that. I do have all the settings, the graphics settings set to epic. I think I turned up the field of view a little bit. Let's get through this tutorial. The tutorial is actually quite a few missions long, but let's at least get through this first mission, and then we'll talk about other stuff. Click on this button to open the second-hand vehicle market. Can't afford to buy a new bus, so we got to start with a used bus. Choose all the available vehicles. Click buy. Okay. I did watch one person play this on YouTube. He bought, well, you have to buy a second-hand vehicle, but he bought like a more expensive one. I actually stuck with the cheapest one I could find because, well, maybe not the cheapest. I don't know. Let's see. This one's 75.4%. Because my thinking was, let's go back. My thinking was I could spend $111,000 and get a nicer bus, or I could spend $79,000, which is what, $32,000 cheaper. And I don't think I'm going to spend $32,000 giving it an oil change, a tire change, and a V-belt change. Now, I did try, when I was testing this out, I bought the used bus and I went to the service area. There's like a mechanic on the map, and it wouldn't let me fix my bus. I'm guessing that you have to finish the tutorial and then you can fix the bus. So I'm taking the chance that the bus won't break down there during the tutorial until I can get to the point where I can fix the bus. So we shall see how that works. I don't know if I want this bus. Just clicking on it as an example, but I think I can do these 3 fixes for less than the $30,000 difference between it and the nicer one. And then this one has bodywork that's a green light. A lot of the used buses have bodywork damage, and this one actually seems pretty good. So let's compare it to the others. 79,000. It looks like it's one of the cheaper ones. Here's a 75. So tire change, V-belt change, and this one's got 32% body damage. So for $3,000 more, I can buy a bus with less body damage. Well, no body damage. And the only extra service it needs is the oil change. So I think I'll buy the other one. Even though it's the second least expensive, I think it's the best overall deal. And there are only two types of coaches. There's this Lions Coach C and then the regular Lions Coach. I forget which one is which, but we'll figure it out. It takes 2 days to get here. It's got 500,000 miles. Wow. But I'm going to buy it anyway. See how it goes. Now it's going to take us to the... And see, I've still got $120,000 left over. So the tutorial is going to take me through hiring a second driver. I could actually come back here in a week or two and see what kind of secondhand vehicles are available and actually buy a second bus, because the tutorial makes me hire someone, but it's kind of easy to start spending all this money, where I think I'd rather have 2 buses and 2 drivers working full time rather than me sharing a bus with another driver and wasting that driver's salary on sitting here doing nothing with only 1 bus. Go to the wall, open the calendar. Let's walk around the office here real quick, just show you around. I don't know any workspace that has a space like this, but whatever, I guess we can sit down and read, I guess. This is there's something you can do on this computer, but I didn't get that far in the tutorial when I was playing it before. We'll get to that in just a second. There's the clock. Just, the main offices. Here's the printer where you get to pick up your orders, take a job. This, I forget what you do over here. Oh, this is the finances part. Go in there to work on your finances. It's kind of funny that they have different desks for each part of the job that you can do. This is obviously a changing area. I've never seen a changing area without a bench. They're missing the bench in here. If you're going to be getting dressed for work, there should be a bench. And it's kind of funny that the changing room has big floor-to-ceiling windows in it, but whatever. It's interesting to look at. Another soda machine, and then this goes outside. So let's go back in and look at our calendar. We'll see about getting this bus picked up. Let's see, this button is to skip to your next appointment, or you can just click on the day. So this is when I pick up my bus. Click on any upcoming day in the calendar to skip time. Whatever, I'm just going to do this. Now it's going to tell me to go pick up my bus. Let's do it. I do have the game set up so it's, well, obviously I'm using the WASD keys and the mouse. It's like your typical game. Oh, my finger slipped. That was kind of funny. I have got a Logitech G29 that I'm using. I've got forward gears set up on the right. I'll call it a flappy paddle because that's just what I call it. So to put it in drive or shift up is the right paddle. To shift down or into reverse is the left paddle. Well, that guy just blew through a stop sign. Thanks, buddy. I'll get through my controls. I didn't want to talk about controls too much, but I didn't want to talk about controls too much because I changed them from the default controls. I tried to change the controls to be more similar to the ATS controls that I use. ATS is American Truck Simulator. That's the only other game I play that I use the steering wheel for. And I just wanted some of the controls to be the same as it so I wouldn't be confused about which controls I was using. I've actually had quite a time getting this steering wheel to work with that game, but this is my second time sitting down with this game and I haven't had any troubles yet with this steering wheel playing this game, so there must be just a little hiccup or something with this steering wheel playing with American Truck Simulator that it just doesn't like. But so far this has been pretty good. I said a couple hours. It might have been 3 hours that I sat and played this game before, and there was never a hiccup. Now, the way these roads are, it's going to make me go down there to the roundabout and then come back and go on this exit, so I'm just going to turn. care about realism right now. I'm just gonna go. Or maybe that's more realistic. Would you really go down to the roundabout and turn around just to come back and take this exit, or would you just turn into it? Obviously with a bus you gotta go to the roundabout, but with the little four-wheel drive here, we can make that turn pretty easy. So speed limit, I'm doing 120. Speed limit down there says 110, so I wasn't speeding as much as I thought. This game does have a feature where when you turn, it turns the head of the driver automatically. I had to turn that down as much as possible. I've got it minimized as much as it'll go. But when I turn the steering wheel, it still turns the head a little bit. It's kind of annoying to me because I'd rather use the mouse to do that, but it's just a feature that you can't turn completely off. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. It's not a horrible feature. It's just I don't like it, so I minimized it. It does do one thing where just there, I didn't move the mouse to move that head. If you have the driver looking a little to the side, the game will actually bring your head back to center on its own if you're looking to the side without any input. So I won't move the mouse, and here in just a second, see it moves your head back to the center. I didn't move the mouse to do that. That's just the game doing it itself. So that's kind of a nice feature. I like that because all you got to do is wait a couple seconds and you'll be looking straight ahead again. So we're almost to the harbor. Well, this is the harbor, but we're almost to the location where our bus is. And this thing really does get up and go. I like it. It's a nice change of pace from the buses that you drive where it's so slow taking off. Let's see. Oh, I should have told someone to come with me. I should have brought a buddy with me to drive this thing back. Now I've got to leave it here while I go get the bus and drive it back. So there's our bus. I don't remember which one I bought. I don't know if I bought the Man Coach or the Man Coach C. But the difference is, I think the other one has the dual rear axles. It's a 3-axle setup. So I think this one's just a little bit smaller. Wow. The seagulls are really loud. As I'm walking around, I'm remembering all these controls that I have set up. So you can't open that luggage compartment. So you can actually control all of these things from the cockpit. You can lower the windows. I actually haven't seen a feature yet where you can change the mirrors. I'm sure there's a way of doing it. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet. You can open both luggage compartments on the driver's side. So I'm going to leave these doors all open so that I can show you how to close them when we get on the bus. So you can walk on the bus and then you have to hit C to get in the driver's seat, just like the normal car. Man, this thing has me walking really fast. Just taking a look at all the seats and floors and whatnot. Let's hop in the seat, take a look. Drive your bus back to the company. So I think the default control is to hit E to start the engine. Let me just, I think it's the 0 key changes the camera. I'm just doing this with the mouse. There's probably a key to turn down the radio volume, but I don't want to get any copyright strikes. We'll just turn that all the way down. Let's, I'm going to hit the 0 key and get to the door controls. Where are the door controls? There they are. Let's quiet this thing up a little bit. Keep the bird noises out. There we go, finally. So that's to lock the luggage compartments. I thought there was a way to close them. I might have to get out. You know what? Let me just do this. Alright, I gotta get out. So you can use those buttons on the console, or you can just walk up to the door and left click on the mouse. I thought there was a way to shut these doors from the inside, but looks like all you can do is lock and unlock. My bad. So that's a pretty sharp looking bus. See? I've actually got a keyboard control to shut the doors also. I won't tell you what, I mean, it's not a big deal. I have the left shift button and the left control button to close the front and rear doors. That's not the default keys. It's just easy for me to reach those two keys. It's kind of instinctive that the shift key is in front of the control key. So it's kind of like mirroring the position of the doors. Let's go drive. So to drive, I've got the engine started. You just shift it into the gear, hit the space bar to take off the emergency brake, and then let's roll. I did used to drive a bus when I was in the Army. It wasn't my full-time job. It was just one of those side things you do to help out your unit. And I always liked the buses. You know what? I always liked the buses with the flat fronts and the wheels behind the driver, the front wheels behind the driver. Just looking down on the street in front of you, it's really easy to get your location exactly where you want. It's really easy to place the bus where you want it. And you have such good front visibility with that flat nose. I just really like those styles of buses. In this game, though, it is a little tricky if you've never driven a flat nose bus. You just have to remember that the front wheels are behind you. So you kind of need to drive a little farther into your intersection before you start your turn. I did a little practicing at some four-way stop signs in this game. If you stop right at the stop line and then turn right, your back wheels will be on the sidewalk when you make your turn. So you gotta keep that in mind. Always drive into the intersection a little bit before you start your turn. And I really like the mirrors on this bus. I've never driven a bus with these mirrors on them in real life, but it's kind of nice that in American Truck Simulator, when I'm driving, I have to... Oh, I'm going way too fast for that corner. In American Truck Simulator, when I'm driving, I have to leave a pop-up window for the passenger side mirror so I can see both at the same time. This one, when you're backing up, and I'll show you when we get back to our company, when I'm backing up, I can actually see both mirrors at the same time without having to move my head back and forth. And I'm going to be up on the sidewalk here just to miss this guy. Probably didn't need to go that far, but... These streets are a little bit of a challenge to drive on. Some of the corners are like that one back there where there's nothing on the corner and you could just take it wide and drive on the sidewalk. It's kind of a nice little feature that sometimes they give you space to make your turn. But like this turn right here on the left side of the screen, if you're turning right at that corner, you can't cut it close or else you're going to hit that light pole. I did get caught out one time during my practice run of this game where I was trying to make a turn and there was a car that was... I was making a right turn, but there was a car in that lane turning out of that road that I was turning into, and he couldn't move because there were cars in the intersection, and the cars in the intersection couldn't move because I was already started my right turn. The AI was a little funky on that particular one, but in most cases the AI traffic in this game is pretty good. Like a lot of times you'll see cars stop short of an intersection when they see you coming because they're anticipating you making a turn. So I'll give them props for that. They figured some stuff out. But every once in a while, you'll see an AI traffic issue where you got to kind of figure your own way out of it, because those city turns are kind of, they're tight. See, here's a little AI glitch. He has the right of way, but for some reason he's stopping for me to go. Is he gonna let me go? Alright, we'll go. And I don't think he was scared that I was gonna go through the intersection. I stopped well before the stop line. But for some reason he must have thought I was gonna just continue through. Notice where the nose of that bus is on the sidewalk. The corner, the right front corner of the bus is, you know, kind of over the sidewalk, and you got to remember those wheels are still, I don't know, 5-7 feet behind you, so they're not even close to the curb at that point. Park in the yard. I've been parking my bus this way. I can use the mirror. I don't really need to do that. So you've got a garage right there that's for your bus. And I'm not gonna... Where am I here? There's a way... I can't really see that. I guess I am gonna make it. Okay, good. I'm gonna maneuver this thing and park it in the garage so you can all see what backing into it looks like. Unfortunately, I wish there was a button to open the garage door before you get to it. Unfortunately, the way the game is set up now, and be careful if you're going to repeat my maneuver here and back into the garage bay, just remember that little brown tower, it gets in the way sometimes. If you don't do it right, just be careful when you're backing up like this, your nose could hit that brown tower real easy. But what I was saying was, I wish that you could open the garage door manually with a button on the keyboard, because right now I can't really see that well. So I gotta kind of get out and look. So I'm lined up, but as you can see, when the garage door opens in a second, you're able to see way easier. So I'll back up real close. Oh, I forgot to mention there is a backup camera. But now you can see that after the garage door is open, you can see the white floor in the garage on both sides of the bus in the mirrors. And that makes it so much easier to back up straight and make sure you're going to fit in on both sides of the garage. I mean, you've got open garage door on both sides of the bus. It would be way easier if that garage door could be open from farther away. But right now, the game is just set up where you have to be close to the garage door and it auto opens, and that's kind of annoying because you got to get real close before you can see if the visibility to make sure that you're clear. Of course, the backup camera helps a lot, but I don't really use that too much. Put it neutral, set the brake, turn off the engine, and C to get up. Alright, now I gotta go to the office. Actually, I like the little detail on this, the graphics. It actually shows you the seat wear on the top of the leather seats. Well, they're probably not leather, they're vinyl or whatever, but you can actually see the wear on the top of the seats. I like that, that's pretty cool. Actually, you can see wear on the floor too, little stains from the water on their shoes or whatever, or the dirt. So what happened? Why is it going so slow all of a sudden? What's going on? I hit the escape key to go to this is a phone. Why is it, is there a run button? Walk, toggle, left control. Oh, okay. So I hit the button to open the door. Okay, so the way I have my settings when I'm driving, I use the control button to open the rear door and the shift button to open the front door. And when I'm walking, this general tab, those buttons, walking, left control, walk toggle, left shift. So I need to hit the shift button to go back to regular walking. Okay, let's try that. Oops. Okay, so I'm walking real slow. I'll hit the left shift, and now I'm walking regular speed. Okay. Actually, you can see the shadow on the ground. He's kind of running. So left shift button, that was that one. I was just trying to close the door or something, and I put myself in a slow walk mode. Go to the fax machine to get your first order. Let's end this video here. We've gotten to our office. We've picked up our bus, and we're back home. So let's stop the video. And our next video, we'll come back and do our first job, our first run. So hope you guys are enjoying this video. I'll stick with it for a little bit and see what this game is like. I just wanted to have another driving game, so this is the one I chose. We'll talk a little bit more about that when I get back to the next video. So you guys go watch some more videos. I'll go play some more games, and I'll meet you back here next time. Bye.